How's everybody doing? This is Aaron Williams, owner of Prosperity Solutions, Mr313 Real Estate. I am a credit repair specialist, as well as a real estate investor, wholesaler of real estate. And just a few announcements. On April 28th, is Shill's Pizza, which is located in Southfield, Michigan, right there on 10 and Telegraph, 11 a.m. on the 28th. We're going to be having a real talk to action seminar. It's including myself, fellow investor Zeke Johnston, who's been doing it. Zeke has been doing, I think, about 4 or 5 years now. Very successful in the game, very thorough brother. As well as Glenn Gasper, Mr. Dollar Oliver Dime. Been in the real estate game 20 years plus, wholesaling, credit repair, real estate, the whole nine. So he's kind of like the chief of the crew, Glenn. Then you kind of got like the middle guy, Zeke, who's been doing it 4 or 5 years. Then you got me, the newbie, who's been doing it for a little less than a year, for like a few months. So you kind of learn a lot of things from different levels. You know, Glenn's like 20 years in, Zeke's 5 years in, I'm the newbie. Zeke is more like all wholesaling, fix and flip. Glenn is more just operational, just big time, sales team. He has investors, he has wholesalers. I mean, he's just totally automated. And then you got me, who's just getting into it. I'm an entrepreneur. I also still work, for the people. I'm still working it out. I'm still, doing my entrepreneurship. I do property preservation. I do credit repair, as well as real estate investing and wholesaling. So people ask me all the time, like, how do you do all of this? How do you do all these things? How do you wear all these hats? I just went to an event Thursday. It was the Oakland County MBRI. And that's one thing. That's like the first thing people ask is like, what do you do? I tell people what I do, and it's like, well, how do you do all that? And it's just, I just do it. I just do it. I never really thought about it was gonna be in it too much. It's just here I am, just doing it. And could I do less? Yeah, but I feel like I could be doing more too. So I'm doing what I'm doing. I got my time set aside for my clients. I got my time set aside property preservation. And with property preservation is more so I have crews now to help me out doing that. So I've kind of stepped away from that. I'm not in it as much, even though I still do it. So it kind of left me more room to really get into the investing and wholesaling of properties and things of that nature. But the property preservation is more so, it's just a service I'm providing. I provide a service for the banks. It's basically any REOs or real estate owned or homes that have been foreclosed on. That's where I come in. I take care of these homes. I like babysit these houses until they can find another buyer, until it can get occupied. So these banks, they cannot just leave these houses vacant and just let the grass grow 5 feet high and not change the locks, leave everything unsecured, leave broken windows. That would be a very bad look for neighborhoods, good or bad neighborhoods. So that's where I come in. I make sure the grass is cut, make sure the snow is shoveled. If there's any leaks in the roof, I tarp the roof or fix the roof. If there's any insecure parts of the property, I secure it. Any doors, I change all the locks. Any debris that's left over from the previous person that lived there, I get rid of the debris. I do sales cleans. I keep the houses clean. We do mold remediation. Oftentimes, there's black mold in the house. That's a health hazard. So we have to go in there and kill the mold. Winterizations for wintertime. We winterize the houses. If the electricity's out, there's a sump pump, which is happening a lot right now. We have to unflood the basements. Sometimes it can be quick and easy, where it only takes like, I don't know, 25 minutes. It's been times where it's taken me like 4 or 5 hours to pump out a basement. So it just all depends, you know. So there's many things that take place when it comes to taking care of a home that's vacant. You know, just think about all the stuff you have to do if you're a homeowner. You know, just by living there. Now times that time like 100. You know, I'm looking after over 100 different houses in Wayne County, Wayne, Oakland, Macomb County. I'm constantly in Wayne, Oakland, Macomb County, doing all these different tasks, all these different houses, and that's helped me out a lot as far as real estate is concerned, because it's helped me being, you know, I have to do estimates on houses. I have to be able to go to these houses, look at them, and I have to go back to these banks. I have to take pictures and pictures and pictures, and I have to go to the banks and tell them exactly what the damages are to this house. I have to make out what's called a PCR, a property condition report, and I have to fill out all the things that's wrong with the house from top to bottom. Roof, whether it needs gutters, whether it's anything functional or operational, like the plumbing, the electricity, the AC, if it's a sump pump, furnace, hot water tank, whether it's leaking, roofing leaks, roofing foundation problems, leaking in the basements, if it's any molds, any structural problems like steps, railings, all that has to be in place. They have to keep it clean, so we got to take all the debris out. So doing this over and over again, house after house after house, inside and out, you know, boarding up windows, you know, fixing windows, fixing holes in walls, fixing roofs, doing vinyl siding repairs, doing electrical repairs, piping repairs, everything. I've done it all. And I've been able to find out when I get a house, all the things that's wrong. So switching over to wholesaling, now when I go to a house that I'm trying to get under assignment, I'm able to look at everything. I've already have the experience in taking pictures. I already know how to take great pictures, great visuals, so people can see by them not being there. They need to be able to see exactly the same thing I'm seeing when I'm there. Okay, so for instance, I can't go to a house and just take a picture of the door and that's it. Like that door can be at any house in any neighborhood. So you have to step back and take nice wide angle pictures. They like to see the depth of the house, the height, everything in relation to the house along with the house itself. And then as you go on, it's like layers. You get in further detail about certain things in the house, like each room, the floor is, how the walls look, how the ceiling look, all the windows, the garage, the backyard, the front view, side view, all that good stuff. So I was able to learn about houses and what goes wrong in houses, and what are some of the problems that you can face, and how much it's going to cost. You know, be able to estimate costs. You know, estimate kitchens and bathrooms per square footage and all those things. So it gave me a huge advantage in the real estate game. So that's why I feel like I've been able to step into this with a rather short learning curve. So I'm already familiar with houses. So even if you know about real estate, even if you're a real estate agent, or if you're a landlord, or if you fix houses, the thing is about real estate, it's not just one thing. It's many things. So oftentimes when we bring up wholesaling, which is one thing of real estate, people think that it's somehow like they're past it, and they're not. It's just a part of the game that some people have mastered. And just because you've been in other aspects of real estate doesn't mean that you can just walk in and be effective in wholesaling. Okay, because the way I look at wholesaling, it's three major parts to wholesaling. I mean, there's many things. The first thing is the marketing aspect. You're marketing buyers, investors, people who just buy houses. They buy and hold, or they buy and flip. They look like the buy and flip people. They're looking for a good deal. It's cheap. They can take it, fix it up, put it back on the market, and make a profit based on the ARV and the comps in the area. Then you got the buy and hold people. They're just holding. They're just grabbing houses. Sometimes it's groups of people that just get houses. That's what they're looking for certain areas where there's a high return on their investment. So they may have cash flow. They may have hundreds, thousands, millions of dollars that they want to get the most out of their money, because quite frankly, you can't get return on investment from the banks. You can't get return on investment from, the banks is like 1%. Mutual funds is like 3 to 5%. Stock market, it fluctuates. Sometimes you can get 8 if you're lucky, but it's usually 5, 6%. So where does that leave you? It only leaves you with real estate, where you can get, where the standard is 15% return on your investment minimum. Some people, they're looking for 20%, 25, 30% on the investment. So if you got $100,000 in cash, you're looking to get 20%. That means you can make 20% of your $100,000. If you put $100,000 in a bank, you only owe you 1%. So I got $100,000 cash. You got $100,000 in cash. You put that $100,000 in Comerica Bank, Citibank, Wells Fargo, whatever. They're only gonna get you 1%. Okay. Let's say, all right, well, I wouldn't put it in a savings account. All right, you put it in a money market account. Okay, you get 3%. Big deal. You getting $3,000. You made $3,000 in a year off 100,000, right? Okay, I take the 100,000. I buy a rental property. Okay, let's say I'm renting it out for $950 a month. Okay, that means I could get at least minimum 15% of my investment. Okay, that's 4 times as much as what you're getting. So I'm gonna make $15,000 of that 100,000. Now we both had 100,000. Yours is just sitting at the bank. Mine, I parked it in a property. Okay, so not only am I getting that I made $15,000 in a year off my $100,000 investment. Possibly I can get more in equity. And also I do have collateral now, so I can now leverage that house to get a loan. Let's say I want to start a tow truck company that tows cars. I can get maybe 3 trucks leveraging that house. Okay, I can get 3 trucks for $25,000. If the value of the house is $100,000, I can take 75% loan to value of that house and get 3 trucks. So now I'm making money off that house, and I'm making money off the 3 trucks if I wanted to do that. Just so as an example, if let's say I'm married and my wife wants to start her own salon, she does hair. This is hypothetical, okay? So she's a hairstylist, right? And she wants to get a salon. I got $60,000 in equity. I could take $40,000 in equity. We can buy a commercial building for $8,000, $10,000, which is very reasonable here in the city of Detroit. We can get an equipment loan, and then you got a salon. With the rent payments that she's getting, the foot traffic, the revenue. Now that's another stream of income. It's a number of things that you can do just off one house. That's why that's a market for so many investors, because they know all these things, okay? So these are some of the things we're going to be talking about this seminar, putting real talk into action. So on the other side of marketing, you got the actual motivated sellers, and that's where the wholesaling comes in. We're looking for motivated sellers. So how do you do that? How do you get motivated sellers? Where do you get these people from? Okay, where are they? Do you just knock on every single door in your neighborhood looking for motivated sellers? It's different ways you can do it. You can do it the virtual way. You can do the bandit signs. You can do direct mail. You can do driving for dollars. There's a lot of things you can do. The basic thing is about marketing. A lot of times people say you can do wholesaling with little, no cash or credit. And that's true. But you can actually acquire it with no cash or no credit. But the marketing to actually find the motivated sellers is either going to take time or it's going to take money to market to get the house for no cash or no credit. So let me break that down. So let's say I'm a student. Okay, I go to Wayne State. I get out of class at 1. I could possibly do driving for dollars every single day, 3 hours a day, looking for vacant homes, finding out who the owner is, seeing if they're trying to sell it. I make an offer, I get it under contract. So now that's time. I'm using what's 3 times 7, like 21 hours, 20 to 30 hours a week of my time looking, actually physically looking for, just driving down the street, just looking for signs that they may be a motivated seller. Okay. Then the other side of that, you have the actual money side, and that's just straight marketing. That means you're doing, you put our banner signs, you have a sales team, you got a virtual assistant, you have an automated system possibly, you have people putting out banner signs, you have people sending out postcards. I mean, you're just doing full marketing. You're just going out 2,000-3,000 people. That's how you get your motivated sellers, okay? Once you get your motivated sellers, what do you do then? Now it's the actual contact. That's the second part, which I can consider sales. Okay, so you could be investing for years. You may be a landlord. You may own 5-10 houses. You may have done all of that. You may be a mortgage broker. You might do real estate. It doesn't matter. These are people we're talking about, and these are possibly people who are about to lose their home, or they may have a house and they don't know what to do with it. Okay, those are the two things. Now each one has their own challenges. Okay, not one isn't easier than the other. So you got the motivated seller. They're living in a house. Maybe it's because of taxes. They're late. They've got behind on the taxes, and that's the biggest lane of them all. Because if you don't pay your taxes, guess what? That city or whatever government you're in, whatever, it's a township, city, whatever, bank, they come to get that house. All right, they're taking it from you if you don't pay those taxes. All right, if you get too behind. Then you got the mortgage. You're behind on the mortgage. Maybe you did a refinance, okay, and now it's like somebody got laid off, somebody got sick, you ain't got the money to pay the mortgage anymore. Or it's just become too much, It's like maybe you got this house, maybe the damages are too much and you just can't live there anymore. Okay, or maybe you just want to move. Those are all motivations. Number 5, divorce. Okay, you're getting divorced. It's over. So it's like, you know what? You're going to sell this house. I'm going to get half. You're going to get half so we can go. So how is that? How are you going to list a house when you're divorced? I've seen it happen. Actually, the first house I bought was like that, which to me, I don't know why they didn't get a wholesaler. It would have been much more easier for them. But they didn't do it that way, which is fortunate for us because it was a nice house at the time. But the couple was divorced. Only the husband was living there. And actually, we had 2 separate closings because they weren't there together for the close. So he got his check, she got her check, and they split in ways. But it kind of helped us because we had more leverage because they were motivated. So a divorce, probate, mortgage, relocation, all those things make you motivated. Another thing make you motivated is if it's a landlord. Maybe he took on too many houses. Now I can relate to that. There was a time where I was managing about 8 houses, and I was working a full-time job, and I was married at the time, and I had a dog too, which I had to end up taking care of. So that was a lot, dealing with all these tenants. I didn't have a property management group. I was young. I was about 26, 27 at the time. I was just doing everything. And so that was a tremendous undertaking. I was like, man, I need to get rid of half these houses. I'll sell 5 and just keep 4. So it's people like that. It's people that own 10, 15, 20 houses. Maybe they want to just move to Florida. They're tired of dealing with it. They want to move down south somewhere and just chill. And they just want to sell their houses. And that means they're motivated. maybe they've been working for 30 years and it's time for them to move, and they're going to be living in Alabama somewhere, getting a house built, and they don't want to be worried about houses up here in Detroit. They're like, all right, Anwar, I see you wholesaling. Let's see if you can unload these properties for me, right? So that's another thing. Maybe they inherited it. Maybe your Uncle Tom or your Uncle Rob or your Aunt May or your Aunt Susie died, and they didn't have any kids, and you were their favorite nephew. They handed you over this house. So something happens to me, you get the house. Maybe this house is in Battle Creek, Michigan somewhere. Maybe the house is in Osceola, Florida. It's somewhere. It's just far away from you. So now it's like you're not gonna live in it. You don't know what to do. You were given this house, so it's like, now what? What do I do with this big house? So that's where I come in. That's where a wholesaler comes in. So I have to present myself. I find you. I know you're motivated. So now that's where the evaluation comes in. So you got the evaluation and you have the approach. Well, you got the approach, the evaluation, and then the close. Okay. So now I approach you. I say, hello, my name is Anwar Williams. I'm a wholesaler. I'm an investor. What we do is we find houses like these for people who are in distressed situations where they need to sell, and we sell the house for you. Okay. We take what's called a vested interest in the house. We put it under a legal contract. Then we find a buyer. Now, I'm going to charge you a fee for doing this. So you're going to get X amount of dollars. So let's say they're going to get $60,000. Okay, let's say the ARV of the house is like $100,000. So part of the things I have to do, I have to come up with structuring the deal, and all that determines how much I'm going to get and how much am I going to put the house on sale for market. Okay, so now I have to say that I have to stay within 65-70% of the ARV to leave about 30% equity. Okay, so I got $70,000 to work with. So I have to factor in the closing costs, and if there's any taxes, any minor repairs, I have to factor all that in the $60,000. So they might not get 60. Maybe they'll get $56,000. Maybe they get $57,000. Right? I'll charge them $5,000. Or I'll charge them 10, or whatever the case may be, but it has to be within that 70,000. Okay, and that's part of it. But then I've structured the deal. I found out it's not a lot of repairs, so they're gonna get the max out of that 70%. Okay, so they're gonna get about 58,000. Okay, so there's no repairs, there's no taxes, there's no liens, none of that. They're gonna get their money. I'm going to get my assignment fee. The buyer's going to get the house. Now, all that, you have to sell that, though. And that's where the sales skills comes in, of being able to sell to someone and getting them to understand the full process, getting them to trust you, getting them to believe in you, that you can deliver. And because you're a total stranger, you're just some guy that sells houses just like everybody else. And that's where part of the skill comes in, is the actual sale. Now, after you get past the sale, is shopping the deal. Okay, you have to be able to shop the deal. You have to be able to take pictures. You have to be able to set things up and present it in a way that's going to appeal to buyers, right? So, you got to get a buyer's list. You got to find out, you got to go to all the places where these guys meet. You got to network with them. You got to find them. You got to find out what areas they like, what houses they like. Then you start putting them in place. All right, single family houses, Detroit. I got a list, 5 people. North Macomb County, multi-units, boom, 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 3 people. Oakland County, boom, boom, boom. South Wayne County, okay. Like maybe it's Lincoln Park and Allen Park and Downriver people, okay. Maybe this person just goes St. Clair Shores. Boom, boom, boom. 3 people. Maybe first they just buy houses on the east side of Detroit. Boom, boom, boom. I got 3, 4, 5 people. Maybe they only like ranches. Maybe they only like colonials. Maybe they only like 48205, 48234, 48237, whatever the zip code. So now I got all these people in all these different areas. Okay, and it takes time to build this list. So I got this house. It's on the west side. It's a colonial. Boom. I go to this guy. I call them. I show it to them. They don't want it. Okay. I go to the next one. Then I go to the next one. But what you want to do is you want to get these people competing. So you're trying to get all of them there at once. So let's say I got Tom, Dick, and Harry. They all like to buy colonial houses on the west side, 48235 zip code. I know all of them going to like it because I know the type of houses that they bought. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all of them at once, have them go see it. I'm going to tell all of them to be there at Tuesday at 6 o'clock. They show up at Tuesday, Tom see Dick, Dick see Tom, Harry see Dick, Dick see Harry, whatever the case may be. They all see each other. They're like, hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? They all want this house. So guess what? It's going to go up a little bit more. So my assignment fee goes up a little bit more. Because the seller's going to get what he's going to get, right? Because that's what we agreed upon. So now I can bargain this. Maybe this guy go up an extra $2,000. Maybe this guy go up an extra $3,000. So we're starting to see the potential that you can have in this. It's plenty of potential, and it's the close. It's just closing. So you got the marketing, the selling, and the closing. Those are the three major parts. So we're going to be talking about all those things on April 28th at Shields Pizza, 11 a.m. to 1:30, 2.5 hours. I love Shields. They got great food, great salads, great pizza. You go there, grab some lunch, get something to eat. We drink. We're going to talk. We're going to talk some real game. And we're going to put it all in action. So that's just the wholesaling part. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about the credit stuff, like the favorite stuff that I like to talk about. I can talk about credit all day, every day. So that's what we're going to talk about in the next video. Peace out.